1:14 a.m., the Persian Gulf, latitude 26.8 degrees north. Aboard the INS Magen, the red battle lanterns are the only thing visible through the haze of recycled air. The sonar operator is screaming,
12 inbound tracks, sea-skimmers, GHADER missiles impact in 28 seconds.
The ship is slowing down. To the Iranian radar operators at Bandar Abbas, the Israeli Sa'ar 6-class corvette's electronic heartbeat looked flickering and weak. Behind the ship, the Iranian coastline is a wall of 500-foot flames, the carriage oil refineries turning into a $400 million chemical inferno. The Iranians want blood. They have 40 fast attack boats and 2 F-4 Phantoms closing the distance at 500 miles per hour. If the Magen doesn't fire its interceptors in the next 10 seconds, 50 Israeli sailors will be vaporized. Here is exactly how the next 12 minutes of carnage unfold. The Iranian commander doesn't wait for a tactical assessment. He sees the INS Magen limping on his legacy radar screen and orders the total saturation of the target.
Empty the racks.
From the limestone cliffs of the coast, another volley of GHADER anti-ship cruise missiles erupts from mobile launchers. These are $1.2 million weapons moving 10 feet above the water to stay under the radar horizon. They are moving at 600 miles per hour, closing the gap so fast that the salt spray from the ocean is being atomized by their nose cones. On the Iranian fast attack boats, crews are cheering. They can see the silhouette of the Israeli ship through their night vision optics. They bank their boats hard, preparing to fire their C-802 rockets to finish the job. Above them, the 2 F-4 Phantoms roll into a steep dive, their pilots flipping the switches to live on their air-to-ground missiles. But the INS Magen is acting as a digital beacon. Inside the Israeli Combat Information Center, the tactical action officer is watching an encrypted link 16 feet. He isn't looking at his own sensors. He's looking through the eyes of a US Navy E-2D Hawkeye circling 30,000 feet above him, completely invisible to Iranian radar.
Link established,
The TAO mutters.
handing off the tracks.
60 miles to the west, hidden in the deep water trenches of the Gulf, the USS Arleigh Burke is sitting in total electronic silence. It hasn't emitted a single radar pulse. It's a 9,000-ton ghost, but its vertical launch system cells are already warm. The unexpected arrives with a roar that shakes the deck plates of the American destroyer. 4 RIM-162 ESSM explode out of their canisters. They don't fly toward the Arleigh Burke's horizon. They arc high into the stratosphere, guided by the Hawkeye's data link. The Iranian pilots in the F-4s see a flash on the horizon. They think it's a flare. By the time their sensors realize it's a Mach 4 interceptor, it's too late. The RIM-162 ESSM doesn't just hit the planes. It performs a 50G lead bias turn, slamming directly into the cockpit of the lead. At the same moment, the 12 GHADER missiles, now just 1,500 yards from the Israeli ship, suddenly encounter an electronic wall. The INS Magen activates its high-powered jamming suite, and the US Navy Growlers overhead flood the Iranian frequencies with digital noise. The GHADER seekers go blind. They begin to pit-bull, turning wildly in circles looking for a target that has vanished from the spectrum. That's when the Arleigh Burke launches the Hammer. A volley of RIM-66 standard MR missiles streaks across the sky at 2,600 miles per hour. These aren't just intercepting the missiles. They are targeting the Iranian command and control rooms. The Iranian commander's screen suddenly fills with ghost targets, thousands of them. He can't tell which track is a real missile and which is a digital hallucination. In 90 seconds, the Iranian sure kill has turned into a graveyard. 12 cruise missiles are splashed, 2 fighter jets are burning on the water, and the US Navy hasn't even revealed its position yet. Behind the kinetic explosions of the RIM-162 ESSM, there is a silent digital war being fought at the speed of light. The unexpected element the US Navy unleashed isn't just a missile. It is the AEGIS Baseline 10 combat system. In the past, a destroyer's radar acted like a flashlight. If you didn't point it at the enemy, you couldn't see them. Baseline 10 changes the physics of the Gulf. It integrates SPY-6 radar arrays that can detect a target the size of a golf ball moving at Mach 4 from hundreds of miles away. But the real magic happens through the cooperative engagement capability. The RIM-162 ESSM that intercepted the Iranian cruise missiles didn't actually need the USS Arleigh Burke to see the target. The data was fused from an E-2D Hawkeye, a P-8 Poseidon, and even a pair of F-35Cs circling near the strait. This creates a system of systems where every American asset acts as a single flawless entity. The Iranians are firing at a ship, the US Navy is fighting with the network. When the RIM-66 standard MR leaves the vertical launch cell, it isn't just a projectile, it is a flying computer terminal. Through Link 16, the missile receives mid-course updates every millisecond. If the Iranian pilot tries to deploy chaff or execute a high G brake, the Hawkeye overhead sees the maneuver and sends a correction signal to the SM-2. The pilot is fighting a human operator's reaction time. The missile is fighting with the processing power of a supercarrier server farm. This is the technical superiority that makes the U.S. Navy's kill chain an inescapable loop. While the surface of the Gulf is a graveyard of burning Iranian fast attack craft, the real unexpected element is moving 300 feet below the thermal layer. The USS Florida, an Ohio-class guided missile submarine, is lurking in total acoustic silence. It doesn't need to surface to participate in the carnage. The commander receives a burst transmission through a towed buoy, the target list for the Iranian A2/AD coastal batteries. From the submarine's large diameter launch tubes, a ripple fire sequence begins. 7 UGM-109 Tomahawk land attack missiles break the surface of the water in a series of massive cavitation bubbles. These aren't just missiles, they are autonomous long-range drones. They immediately deploy their wings and drop to an altitude of 50 feet, hugging the jagged coastline of the Musandam Peninsula. The UGM-109 Tomahawk uses terrain contour matching to navigate the desert canyons, staying beneath the detection lobes of the Iranian S-300 radar systems. The Iranians believe they are safe behind their mountain defenses. They are wrong. The UGM-109 Tomahawk Block 5 variants carry a multi-mode seeker. They don't just hit a pre-programmed coordinate, they use their onboard cameras to identify the specific mobile launcher that fired the GHADER missiles earlier. This is the satisfaction of efficiency. High above the chaos, a pair of EA-18G Growlers from the USS Abraham Lincoln are performing what pilots call an electronic execution. They aren't firing kinetic rounds yet. They are using the ALQ-218 tactical jamming pods to clutter the entire electromagnetic spectrum. To an Iranian radar operator, the world just turned into white noise. Their screens aren't just fuzzy, they are inverted. When an Iranian shore battery tries to force its radar power to burn through the jamming, it creates a massive electronic signature that is essentially a death sentence. The Growlers instantly release the AGM-88E AARGM Advanced Anti-Radiation Guided Missile. This is a hunter-killer weapon that lives for the smell of radar energy. Even if the Iranian operator panics and turns off the radar, the AGM-88E AARGM remembers exactly where the signal came from, using GPS and an active millimeter wave seeker. The radar dish is vaporized before the operator can even stand up. In a final act of desperation, the Iranian command orders the launch of a Fateh 110 short-range ballistic missile from a hidden site near Shiraz. This is a heavy hitter carrying a 1,000-pound high-explosive warhead. It's designed to punch through the deck of a carrier, but the kill chain is already ahead of them. A KH-11 spy satellite detects the heat bloom of the FATEH-110 ignition in under 1.5 seconds. That data is processed in a server bank in Nevada sent to the AEGIS system on the USS Arleigh Burke and turned into a fire control solution before the Iranian missile has even cleared the launch rail. The Arleigh Burke launches the RIM-174 Standard ERAM. This is the triple threat of the U.S. Navy. It is the only missile in the world that can intercept air-breathing threats, surface ships, and ballistic missiles in their terminal phase. The RIM-174 SM-6 streaks into the upper atmosphere at Mach 3.5. It doesn't just hit the Fateh 110, it shreds it using a kinetic kill vehicle that turns the ballistic threat into a harmless rain of burning debris over the empty desert. The trap set by Israel and the U.S. Navy didn't start on the water, it started 500 miles up. A KH-11 Cannon reconnaissance satellite was positioned in a polar orbit directly over the Carnage refinery. While the world watched the apocalyptic fire from the ground, the KH-11's hyperspectral sensors were looking through the smoke. It wasn't just filming the fire, it was tracking the thermal bloom of every Iranian mobile missile launcher as they emerged from their hardened underground silos. This is how the BGM-109 Tomahawk strike was so precise. The satellite identified the specific heat signature of the Kala-GK FARS ballistic missile engines as they were being fueled. That coordinate was fed directly into the BGM-109 Tomahawk's mission distribution system. The missile doesn't just fly to a map coordinate, it uses digital scene matching area correlation to compare the ground below it to satellite imagery in real time. As the BGM-109 Tomahawk approaches the target at 550 miles per hour, it isn't just a dumb bomb. It is an autonomous hunter. It can loiter over a target area for hours, waiting for the satellite to confirm the enemy has moved into the open. When the Iranian crews finally felt safe enough to move their launchers, the BGM-109 Tomahawk executed a terminal dive at 90 degrees, punching through the reinforced steel of the launcher before the crew could even hit the fire button. To understand the scale of the unexpected response, you have to look at the economics of the 12-minute window. The Iranian regime spent over $150 million on the swarm of fast attack craft and the GHADER cruise missiles. In less than 90 seconds, the US Navy neutralized that entire investment using roughly $18 million worth of RIM-162 ESSM and SM-2 interceptors. This isn't just a military victory, it is a financial liquidation. The RIM-174 standard ARM used to intercept the Kala JK FAR's ballistic missile costs approximately $4.3 million US. That sounds expensive until you realize what it protected. It protected a $13 billion USD Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier and the lives of 5,000 American sailors. But more importantly, it protected the 15% of global oil trade that passes through the strait every single day. The satisfaction of efficiency comes from the fact that the US Navy didn't have to launch a full-scale invasion to stop the Iranian threat. They used the kill web to dismantle the enemy's offensive capability without ever entering the range of their coastal guns. Every time the US Navy fires an SM-6, they are sending a message to Moscow and Beijing. Your most advanced carrier killer is a $4 million target for our junior officers. By 3:45 a.m., the engagement is over. The Iranian fleet has been deleted from the tactical display. The wall of fire at the Carnage oil refineries continues to burn, a testament to the enemy's helplessness. The U.S. Fifth Fleet didn't just unleash the unexpected. They unleashed the future of warfare. A future where a single ship like the INS Magen can act as the bait for an invisible integrated machine that spans from the bottom of the ocean to the edge of space. As the sun begins to rise over the Strait of Hormuz, the USS Arleigh Burke and its carrier strike group resume their patrol. The sailors in the CIC don't cheer. They check their systems, log the data, and prepare for the next watch. The message to the world is clear. In the Persian Gulf, the rules are written by those who control the kill web. What part of this strike was the most shocking to you? Was it the precision of the SM-6 intercept or the hidden power of the Tomahawk launching submarines? Let us know in the comments. We read your tactical analyses to see how you view the future of global power. If you want to stay updated on the technical reality of modern naval dominance and see more deep dives into the kill web, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the tech, the tactics, and the truth behind the headlines.